It's looping.
Hello. Sorry guys, we had a sound issue.
Oh. Should I repeat?
Yes, please,
Okay,
Sparky.
awesome. Well, once again, welcome back everyone to our second episode of our Snake Ed Weekend. I'm very happy to introduce you to one of our biggest snakes that we've got here on our ranch. Right over here on my lap, actually draped all around me, is our Southern African python. Are we good with sound?
Yeah.
Alrighty, okay, cool. Now we've got the green light, we can go. So the Southern African python I've got here is the largest python species in Southern Africa, but the second largest species of python in all of Africa. There's one species that's a little bit bigger than them, which is the African rock python. Now about 15 years ago, these two species were still seen as one species, but a few years ago they were classed into two distinct species. Now they do have a few differences between them. The first difference is, I don't know if you can see on the top of her head, the scales that she's got on top of her head. On Southern African pythons, the head scalation is a lot smaller. The African rock python has much bigger scales on the head. Also, if you look next to her eye, the African rock python will have two distinct white stripes below the eyes. Also, the Southern African python is a bit smaller, reaching a body size of about 5.5 meters maximum, whereas the South African rock python, or the African rock python, can reach a body size of up to about 6.5 meters. So they're considerably larger. And also they are found in two different areas in Africa, with the Southern African python being found much more south, so in South Africa and our neighboring countries and a little bit higher up, and the African rock python you'll find in the Congo area and higher up from there. So as you can see, she's very nice and relaxed, absolutely beautiful snake. If you have a look at her body, you can see the nice, very beautiful pattern she's got. You've got the light brown patterns and the dark, almost black blotches covering her body, which is absolutely excellent for camouflage. Which is great because they are known as sit and wait predators. So they will sit next to animal footpaths or even wait within watering holes for animals to pass by, when they will strike out, catch the prey, coil around their bodies and constrict them. Which is absolutely beautiful. If you want to take a closer look here by her head, there by my thumb you can see 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6 little indentations. So those are heat sensitive pit organs. So this allows a snake to detect prey in pitch darkness. Also, if you look at the back of her bottom jaw, I'm not very sure if you guys can see, let's slightly lift her up there. At the back of her bottom jaw, she's got another set of heat sensing pits. So it's very important for them to be able to catch their prey. Right, so if you have an overall look at her body, you can see she's a nice, strong, muscular snake. These animals are very powerful. I've only been sitting here for about 2 or 3 minutes and my shoulders are already getting a bit tired. She's about 21 kilograms now. We weighed her, I think, about 3 weeks ago. But that's only a third of the weight that she will be able to reach as an adult. Adult snakes of this size, or adult snakes of this species, are able to reach up to about 60 kilograms in body weight. So she's not one to take lightly. So as I mentioned, the Southern African pythons, they are active mostly at night. This is their favorite time to hunt for prey. They've got a very wide range of prey species that they will take. It's a variety of rodent and bird species. They will also take duiker, impala, blesbok and nyala young, vervet monkeys, fish, monitor lizards and even Nile crocodiles that are small enough for them to eat. Now even though such a big snake, their prey items can be more than double their body mass. So this snake being 21 kilograms will be able to swallow a prey animal of up to 40 kilograms. The way that their jaws can unhinge and the skin in the neck, how it can stretch, is phenomenal. It almost looks like those cartoon photos where you see the snake and then whoop, you see the animal inside. So it's a very cool animal. She's nice and relaxed. Usually she's a lot more active, exploring everywhere. But I think she's very comfortable as she is now. Hello, girl.
Sparky, we have some people who've tuned in. Can we go through some of their comments?
Definitely, let's go.
Louisa is back again. Hi, Louisa. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry about the sound. When we started, guys, we are trying new technologies. They don't always seem to work with us, so we've gone back to basics. Hi, Marika. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Happy that you can hear us. Bertha Haasbroek. Hi, Sparky. We're here. We have Riet. Yoo-hoo, Sparky. MJ Hougaard. Hola, Sparks. Kelly shared the stream. Thank you so much. Candace. Beautiful, Sparky. Carmen is also watching. Hi, Carmen. Karina Marie Prinsloo is also watching. Mirella, I hope I'm saying that the right way. Beautiful pattern, says Carmen.
Stunning.
And then Emcha also says she's beautiful. TJ Foster is watching. Garrett's also watching. So for those who don't know yet, we are also part of a live stream that is including world-class streamers from across the world. They are doing a 3-day live stream or streaming event. You guys can all tune in. Please go have a look at our website. We have listed all of their links if you want to tune in and see what they're up to. Very excited to note that we were also featured on Business Insider this morning for this event.
Oh, wow. That's very awesome.
Thank you to all the streamers who are currently watching and who are supporting our cause, helping us raise funds in this difficult time.
Oh, thank you very much, guys. We do need every cent, and we couldn't do it without you guys.
Kelly Rousseau, does she also do silly things in her tank? Our ball pythons are such clowns sometimes.
Well, she's actually a very relaxed girl. She's, how can I say, she keeps to herself. We don't see her exploring very often. As I mentioned, they're mostly active at night. At night times, we're at home, so we can't see her clowning around. During the day, she's most often relaxed. But she does like very much to just lie in a water bowl, sometimes for quite a long time, just to get a bit of a soak and a drink. And yeah, she's actually very, very nice and relaxed.
Horst Disler saying hi, Sparky.
Hi.
Louisa, hi. Marlene Swart, hi, guys. Carmen, hello. Johan Koortsen and Elise Koortsen are watching. Ronnie van der Westhuizen, he says, thank you, Kango. Chanel Bota. Keaton says, hello. We visited in October and my boys loved the animals. You guys rock. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Sparky, I'm going to hand back over to you for all of the good facts. Sorry, just wanted to say hi to everyone.
That's very great. All right. So another thing of the Southern African python, just a little bit on the conservation side of these animals. They are currently listed as vulnerable in the red data books of South Africa and also of Swaziland, meaning that some of their populations are busy decreasing. And it's also been reported that the local Durban and also the local Eastern Cape populations of these animals have been completely wiped out, which is actually, it's very sad to know, because as you can see, she's actually such a phenomenal animal, and they're also very important in controlling pest populations, especially rodents. In the areas of South Africa where you've got sugarcane plantations, you will find a lot of these pythons controlling the rodent populations in those plantations. Now, the reason for them being listed as a vulnerable species is, sorry, I'm just going to quickly shift my knees again. Just don't want my foot falling asleep. There we go.
Is she getting a bit heavy?
Yeah, she's heavy from the start. Yeah, as I was saying, so the reason for their population decline is actually a large amount of things, from accidentally being killed on roads, being killed for human consumption, especially in very rural, very poor communities. They also often hunt for their skin in the skin trade, also for the traditional medicine trade, and also newly discovered a lot of these pythons also get electrocuted on game electric fences. And it's also thought that the expansion of game farms in Southern Africa might cause a big problem for these guys in the future. So it's something that we should definitely look out for. Yeah, they're very beautiful. On the note of reproduction with these animals, is that it's a phenomenon almost completely on its own. So she's about 10 years old, so it will be the year that she, in the wild, that she would reach sexual maturity. The females, breeding for them takes a lot of energy, so females choose to breed only every second to third year since they reach sexual maturity. Now they can lay anything from 30 to 60 eggs. In very, very large females, they can sometimes lay over 100 eggs, but this is only in exceptionally rare cases. The eggs are, sorry, go on, just let go of your head there. You got it? Okay. The eggs are about the size of a lemon, about 10 centimeters in diameter, and weighs around about 130 to 160 grams. So what the female does is she'll find a nice, safe and secure burrow, like an old aardvark burrow or an old porcupine burrow. She'll choose to lay her eggs in there, and then she will coil around the eggs, keeping them warm throughout the entire period of incubation. Now the way she does that is she will go outside in the mornings and start to bask in the sun to raise her own body temperature. What's amazing with brooding females is most often southern African pythons like to have a body temperature of around about 32 degrees Celsius. But when the females are breeding, they allow their body temperatures to rise to up to about 40 degrees Celsius, which is 1 or 2 degrees away from killing them. When they reach this body temperature, they go back into the burrow, coil back around their eggs, and that way the heat gets transferred to the eggs, keeps them nice and warm above 28 degrees Celsius even at night. Because the eggs are very temperature sensitive, the eggs don't like cold, and hatching success is very low under temperatures or at temperatures below 28 degrees Celsius. So that's actually, it's insane how much effort this species of snake puts into their young. And it's also reported that a female python that's busy incubating her eggs can lose more than half her body mass during the whole incubation process. Now that's a lot of commitment for a snake. Everyone thinks these animals are cold-blooded killers. Yes, they are very good killers in the wild, but they surprise me every single time. When the babies hatch, they will actually stay with the mom for up to about 2 weeks before the mom moves off and each baby moves off in their own direction. At night, the mom will still coil around the empty eggshells. The babies will slither into her coils and she keeps them warm at night for the first 2 weeks.
That is so interesting. So she's really a good mama.
Yes, absolutely an amazing mom.
We have Gwen Hatcher. Hello from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Thank you for tuning in, Gwen. Johan Rousseau has asked a question.
Yes.
With her being this size, what do you feed her and how often?
All right. So we have recently moved her over to a diet of chickens. So she gets 2 very big chickens every 3 weeks. It's enough to keep her nice and you can see she's in a very good condition. And we're also starting to see if we can get her over to eating piglets. We are fortunate enough to get piglets from a local farm close by, where the piglets die of natural causes and then they come to us. So far she hasn't taken any of the piglets yet. It is something new for her, so she still has to make those calculations, is this edible, am I going to like this, before she will take them. But so far she loves the chickens very, very much.
Sparky, I heard we celebrated her birthday this week.
Yes, she turned 10 years old on the 15th of June.
Wow.
So she's actually, we actually miss her birthday. I feel bad about that, actually. We need to give her a chicken with a little candle on it.
Auntie Herb says, groete uit Centurion.
That's my other aunt. Hi. So as you can see, big snake, big head, lots of big teeth. So a lot of times when these snakes are encountered in the wild, they will very, very aggressively defend themselves. But before they do that, they will rather decide to run away first. So if you come across one of these snakes in the wild, the first thing they'll do is either slither into dense bush or back into the burrow they were close by at. If you surprise them in the wild, they didn't know you were approaching, they will remain motionless and hope you don't see them. And then you'll move off and they'll move off in their own direction. However, if you do come across a python and you see them out in the open, as soon as you go touch them, they will strike out in self-defense. It is their natural aggression that keeps them alive in the wild. If you think about the habitats that they occur in, there are many, many predators, even for a snake this size. I mean, we've got lions, we've got leopards, we've got hyenas, wild dogs, we've got large birds of prey, large monitor lizards, big Nile crocodiles, all of which can catch and kill these snakes. So they have to be very, very aggressive in order to survive in the wild. So when you see one, it is best to leave them alone, have them go on their way, and you can go on a separate way. Stand still, have a good look at them, appreciate them for how they're looking, how they are in the wild, the natural behaviors, but as soon as you mess with them, they're not going to stand for it.
Craig is also tuned in.
Hi, Craig.
Craig is Sparky's manager. He is obviously checking that he is only doing his best.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing a good job.
Charlene Terblanche, sorry about that, also says, so beautiful.
She's absolutely stunning.
Then we have Horst Dessler. Would this snake be able to live in the wild?
Well, I'm unsure how long she's been in captivity, but with her behavior and her specific demeanor, I'm very, very sure and very confident that she will be able to rewild fairly easy. She knows, or she's sometimes very careful for us. When we first approach her in the enclosure, very often she starts hissing at us, but as soon as we pick her up, she realizes, oh, okay, cool, this is not a threat, I know these guys, then she calms down very quickly. So she will be, I think she'll do very good in the wild. She must just learn what's edible, what's not, what prey she likes, where the chickens live, and then she'll be fine.
So Sparky, we are at this stage in an office.
Yes.
Everyone can see the blind behind. Why are we in an office today?
Okay, so the reason we're in the office today is just to make sure that she is on her best behavior. If she decides that she wants to sprint off in a direction, it's going to be very difficult to control her. We do have a second person on backup. Leandra is off camera here. So if anything should happen with a python, I do have someone that can help me control her. So if we do lose control of this python on the outside, it's going to be very difficult to get her back into her enclosure. And also there's a lot of smells, a lot of things that can set her off. We do have chickens that free roams the ranch, and if a chicken accidentally walks by without me knowing, we might even lose a chicken. So that's why we're rather inside, to keep everything nice and safe.
Awesome, thanks. Stevie's mom is also watching. Desiree Milan has asked, how much does she eat and how often?
We have answered this question before, but we'll get right back to it. So she gets about 2 chickens every 3 weeks. And I also mentioned we are trying to get her over on piglets, but so far she hasn't gone for them, so we're still on the chickens for her.
Would you say she's calm now?
Oh, she's very calm and relaxed. Definitely very, very relaxed. You can see she's not even really flicking her tongue. If she was a bit more stressed, you'd see her tongue flick more rapidly to sense her environment. But now, without the tongue flicking, she's fairly relaxed. Just gotta quickly readjust myself again. Oopsie daisy. There we go. So, a lot of people think that pythons will attack, catch, and eat humans. I can tell you guys this is false. First of all, humans don't really fit into the prey category of snakes. Unlike animals, we use soaps and shampoos and deodorant on our bodies, so we don't really smell like anything edible to snakes. I mean, we're a walking basket of potpourri almost. It's not really enticing to snakes. And a lot of times when people have reported python attacks, upon further investigation, it's actually realized that it was human attacks on pythons. In a situation where the python was minding its own business, people didn't want it there, tried to get rid of it, or attack it, or kill it, and the python retaliating in self-defense, and then they report it as an attack of a python on a person, which I think, for one, is not really fair. I mean, look at her. She hasn't even tried to do anything bad.
It actually looks like she's cuddling.
Oh no, she's definitely cuddling. And if she's not cuddling me, I'm busy cuddling her. So you can see here where I'm touching here, it looks nice and soft and squishy. Those are actually some of her stronger jaw muscles that are attached on bones back here and on the side of the jaw there, all the way back to the back of the head. So these puffy cheeks are jaw muscles.
They look really strong.
Oh, they are very, very strong. They don't have a very strong bite force per se, but the muscles in the head is situated in such a way to help the snake eat big prey. A lot of people don't know this, but a snake doesn't have a solid skeleton or a solid skull. So the skull of the snake is actually fragmented and loosely attached by very strong ligaments. So it is possible for a head to expand a certain degree.
Desiree's just mentioned here, and it's very true, no matter how calm, it is still a snake and can be dangerous.
That is very true, although it is very important if you're dealing with a calm snake to make sure that you know what you're doing. If you see you're doing something that stresses the snake out, then you can expect something to happen. But as I've mentioned, the snake won't attack just to attack. That is very silly. A snake will never attack just to attack. They will only attack in self-defense. So if I get bitten by the snake today, then I deserve it. Because then I obviously have done something to upset her, and that will be her way of telling me, listen, I'm not standing for this. You did something to me I didn't like. And then I'll be fine with it. Okay, we got any other questions? Oops, sorry girl. No, that was just a loud exhale. She wasn't actually hissing there.
Sparky?
Hi.
Jono, I hope I'm saying your name right. Jono Winder is
Jono!
asking. Jono!
It's Jono!
Okay, Sparky obviously knows you.
Hi Jono.
Can these pythons swim at all?
Yes, they're actually very, very good swimmers and they can hold their breath for quite a long while. As I mentioned earlier, being ambush predators, they often sit in water holes under the water for a while, sometimes only sticking out the tip of its snout to breathe. When animals come by, she'll strike out and catch them. And they can even swallow prey underwater if the prey is small enough.
Wow. Nicole Ward has just commented as well. She seems so relaxed and chilled.
Very, very relaxed. I think she has hissed now once or twice, very, very lightly. So I think she might start getting tired. So we can continue the stream for another minute or two. But I think it might be close to the time that we have to put her back in her enclosure. So we don't want her to be upset.
Okay, that's 100%. Just the last 3 comments I have here.
Yes.
Lindy has just said, what a beaut. Hello, Sparky. Alma Hatting, wow, beautiful animal. Thanks, Alma. Griffin has said, will I be able to do an encounter with the snake?
With this specific snake, unfortunately not. We do want our encounter programs to happen in a very safe environment. We don't want you or the animal to be injured. With a snake this size, it's usually only expert handlers or people with snake experience that can handle big snakes like this. So for this encounter program with our snakes, we have a smaller species of constrictor that will much more easily fit around your shoulders, with which you can have a great encounter with.
We don't want to tie you guys down with 21 kgs.
No. I'm very tired as I'm standing here, sitting here almost.
Last question, Sparky. Michelle Gous. What would be her preferred prey if she was in the wild?
If she
Thanks
was
for
in
asking,
the
Michelle.
Wild, for a python this size, as I mentioned earlier, they're not very picky eaters, so they will take anything that's big enough and edible. So that can be anything from very large rodents, pheasants, hyrax, rabbits, small duikers, small antelopes. They will even sometimes attack and eat smaller wild dogs, monitor lizards, small crocodiles. So she would be an absolute pig in the wild. Anything is fair game for a snake like this.
Wow. Thank you so much for bringing her out. Thank you, girl, for being so amazing and letting us film you. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. If you are still keen to watch live streams, please head over to our event. Everyone is live streaming. All the links are live. You can pop onto our website and join one of those feeds. We've got some really interesting things going on. And please tune back in tomorrow. Sparky, what's happening tomorrow?
Tomorrow we will be working with Africa's most venomous species of cobra. So that's definitely an episode you do not want to miss.
Will you be handling them alone?
I will be handling them alone, yes, but we will have first aid people on standby in case anything happens.
Wow, that's really exciting. Tomorrow at 2, everyone. We hope we see you there.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much. It really warms my heart to hear everyone saying so many beautiful things about the snake, thinking she's beautiful and wonderful. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.